Welcome to Wonderscape, where Earth's weirdest secrets finally come to light. Today, we're diving into 10 places where Mother Nature didn't just get creative. She went completely psycho. We're talking lakes that turn animals into statues, volcanoes that spew blue fire, oceans that light up like a nightclub, and a pit of fire that's been raging nonstop for decades. These aren't Photoshop tricks. These aren't movie sets. This is Earth in full meltdown mode. So buckle up, because what you're about to see is so wild, so unbelievable, it'll make you question whether reality ever had rules in the first place. And it all kicks off with a hole in the ground that's been burning like hell itself for over 50 years. Number 1. Door to Hell, Turkmenistan. Deep in Turkmenistan's Karakum Desert lies a 230-foot-wide pit of flames called the Door to Hell. Back in 1971, Soviet scientists were drilling for natural gas when the ground collapsed. Their fix? Let's just light it on fire and hope it burns off. Well, guess what? It's still burning, 50 years later, non-stop. The crater has become an accidental furnace, spewing flames and boiling mud around the clock. Locals swear it growls at night. Tourists roast marshmallows at the edge of a pit that looks like the mouth of the underworld. NASA even used the surrounding desert to simulate life on Mars. It's that otherworldly. This isn't just a fire pit. It's Earth's cursed birthday candle. And if you think fire is scary, wait until you meet a lake that turns animals into statues. Number 2. Lake Natron, Tanzania. This lake in northern Tanzania looks like a gorgeous, surreal red mirror. But touch it, and it'll strip the flesh from your bones. With sky-high alkalinity and temperatures over 120 degrees Fahrenheit, Lake Natron doesn't just kill, it calcifies. Birds that crash into its waters are mummified mid-flight, their bodies hardened into eerie stone statues. Even fish can't survive here unless they've evolved a freakish level of salt tolerance. Yet somehow, thousands of flamingos flock to Lake Natron to breed, strutting around like they own the place. Apparently, nature hands out cheat codes to whoever she likes. This lake doesn't just kill. It poses for a photo shoot afterward. And while this horror show bakes in the sun, a glacier on the other side of the world is bleeding. Number 3. Bloodfalls Antarctica. In the frozen silence of Antarctica's Taylor Glacier, a blood-red waterfall spills out from the ice. No, it's not a crime scene from The Shining. It's real. The crimson flow comes from ancient, iron-rich saltwater trapped beneath the glacier for millions of years. As soon as the briny water touches the oxygen in the air, it rusts instantly, staining the ice blood red. Scientists also discovered something even creepier. An entire ecosystem of ancient microbes surviving in total darkness, no oxygen, and freezing salt. They're so hardy they could literally survive on Mars. It's haunting, it's alien, and it's a reminder that Earth's darkest secrets are still leaking out, one bloodstain at a time. And if that doesn't rattle you enough, just wait until you wander into a galaxy made of worms. Number 4. Glowworm Caves, New Zealand. Step into the Waitomo Caves, and suddenly you're not on Earth anymore. You're inside nature's most haunting light show. Thousands of tiny glowworms cling to the cave ceilings, glowing a ghostly blue. It's absolutely hypnotic, until you realize the grim truth. These glowworms aren't lighting up to be pretty. They're hunting. Each one spins sticky silk threads that dangle like fishing lines, trapping unsuspecting insects, and then slowly reeling them in for dinner. It's a starry sky made of predators. Beauty, betrayal, and brutality, all dangling right above your head. Speaking of brutal beauty, how about lava that burns? Blue. Number 5. Blue Lava Kawah Ijen Volcano, Indonesia. Indonesia's Kawah Ijen isn't your average angry volcano. It's a full-blown pyrotechnic freak show. During the day, it looks like any other smoldering crater. But at night, It erupts in ghostly blue flames, turning the slopes into a hellish neon river. This lava isn't actual molten rock. It's sulfuric gas igniting as it spews from deep inside the earth. Temperatures soar above 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and the air is so toxic that miners have to wear gas masks, or sometimes just tie wet rags around their faces and pray. These workers risk lung damage and burns for a few dollars a day, hacking away at luminous sulfur crystals while coughing blood. Kawah Ijen isn't just dangerous, it's Mother Nature daring you to step closer. And after all that fire, you're probably ready to cool down. But don't relax yet. This next wonder is just as deadly in its own icy way. Number 6. The Dead Sea, Israel, Jordan. At 1,400 feet below sea level, the Dead Sea is so salty you can float like a rubber duck. No swimming skills needed, just lean back and bob. But beneath the chill vibes, this sea is in serious trouble. It's shrinking by over 3 feet per year, and the receding shoreline has left behind thousands of sinkholes, some big enough to swallow roads, cars, and entire resorts. Fresh water from nearby sources used to flow into the Dead Sea, but today most of it gets diverted, leaving the salt behind to thicken and the lake to vanish. In the past 50 years, it's lost more than a third of its volume. This might be the saltiest spa on Earth, but it's also a geological ghost town in slow motion. And while the Dead Sea vanishes, nature's sculptor is hard at work in Chile. Number 7. Marble Cathedral, Chile. On the shores of Lake General Carrera, waves have carved a marble palace from solid rock. Sunlight bounces off turquoise water, painting the cave walls in hypnotic swirls of blue and white. It's Earth's Sistine Chapel, crafted by time, wind, and water, not human hands. But don't let the beauty fool you. This place is remote, isolated, and only accessible by boat, often through rough and unpredictable Patagonian waters. The marble walls? They're over 6,000 years in the making, sculpted grain by grain as waves chip away at the rock. And depending on the time of day and season, the color of the water changes, shifting the entire cave's palette like nature's mood ring. And yes, you can kayak through it, if you don't mind the reminder that beauty is sometimes carved from chaos. But what if you combined fire and ice? Welcome to a cave inside a volcano, made of melting ice. Number 8. Ice Cave, Mutnavsky Volcano, Russia. Deep inside Russia's Mutnavsky volcano lies a secret straight out of a fantasy novel. A glowing ice tunnel formed by volcanic steam. Steam vents from the volcano carve intricate caverns through the glaciers, creating walls that shimmer like stained glass when sunlight sneaks through. It's breathtaking, and it's basically a death trap. The caves constantly shift, melt, and collapse without warning. Explorers who venture inside are gambling with every step because one wrong vibration could bring tons of ice crashing down. It's beauty built on a ticking clock. And while the ice slowly melts away, let's head somewhere warmer, where the ocean itself seems to be alive and glows back at you. Number 9. Vadhu Island, Sea of Stars, Maldives. Imagine walking on a beach under the stars, and then realizing the stars are in the water, lighting up under your feet. That's Vadhu Island in the Maldives, where at night the shoreline glows electric blue thanks to bioluminescent plankton. Every wave, every step, every motion triggers a dazzling burst of light, like you're dancing across a living galaxy. And here's the kicker. This glow is actually a defense mechanism. When disturbed, the plankton flash as a way to scare off predators. So basically, Mother Nature invented the world's most beautiful alarm system. No filters, no magic tricks. Just plankton showing off and winning. But don't get too comfortable. For the final act, Earth is about to pull out all the colors at once. Number 10. Zhangye Danxia Rainbow Mountains, China. These mountains in China's Gansu province look like a painter's palette exploded. Red, orange, yellow, green, striped across sandstone like a cosmic candy cane. Formed by 24 million years of layered minerals, tectonic shifts, and oxidation, these ridges aren't painted, they're baked into the planet. And the weirdest part? The colors are real, but only fully reveal themselves under certain lighting. Sunrise and sunset turn the entire mountain range into a hallucinogenic masterpiece. It's so surreal, it's been mistaken for a film set. Geologists call it layer cake erosion. Travelers call it unreal. In recent years, the Chinese government built elevated walkways to preserve the formations, because tourists kept trying to touch the rainbow. And honestly, we get it. It's like Earth's grand finale, proof she's not just powerful. She's also showing off. So now you've seen it. Lakes that petrify, ice that bleeds, lava that glows, oceans that dance. These aren't fantasy worlds. They're real places, hiding on our planet like unlocked levels in a game. Which one blew your mind the most? Which one would you dare to visit? Tell us in the comments. And if this video made your brain do a backflip, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and ring that bell like it owes you money. Because Wonderscape isn't just here to show you the world. We're here to prove reality is wilder than your wildest dreams.